Let's talk about then sovereignty, the sovereignty of God and how it's manifest.
One of my favorite themes.
Throughout the scriptures.
Right. Some people are afraid of sovereignty because they think it means we are robots. And God kind of stands back and manipulates us like we're marionettes on a string. Nonsense. It means God is in full control. Nothing is out of control. Isn't that a comfort?
We don't always believe that.
No.
If we
You
lived
wonder,
like that,
how come we wound up with this particular legislation or that particular leader or president or, in this case, maybe a coach or a pastor? God knew exactly what he was doing. That person being there is not an accident. God is not up in heaven going, yikes. What am I going to do now?
Didn't see that coming.
Yeah, he is all over it with a plan that when you look back, you realize. I have a good friend who says when we step into heaven, the first response will be, oh.
I get it.
Got it. I got it. Now I get it. Right now, we're the nuts and bolts again. And because we don't see the end from the beginning, it looks like a hodgepodge. It's like a series of mistakes, a whole group of tragedies that make no sense. Oh, not with the sovereign God.
We use the term big picture, but that almost implies that there has to be a creator behind it that has a plan in mind.
Exactly.
And that speaks to his sovereignty.
That's exactly right. Someday you ought to check out Romans 8:29. Everybody knows Romans 8:28, but Romans 8:29 brings in the sovereignty. There are certain verses I feel sorry for. John 3:17 is a verse I feel sorry for. Everybody knows 16. Nobody knows 17.
Nobody holds
verse.
John 3:17 at the football game.
How about 2:8 and 10? Ephesians 2:8, 10. Everybody knows 2:8 and 9. And when you think of the sovereign hand of God, you realize Romans 8:28 makes great sense because of 29, 30, 31, 32. Just keep reading. It unfolds it. So I encourage people. I remember when it was the first breakthrough in my life. I walked in. I was an intern with Ray Steadman in Palo Alto, and I was that summer studying it. And I was afraid of the doctrine because I had seen it abused. I'd seen it taken to extremes. Heresy, by the way, is nothing more than truth taken to extremes. And I'd seen this taken to extremes, but suddenly it dawned on me what it meant. And with tears, I walked into Ray Steadman's office, and I said, Ray, I hate to bother you. He said, come on in. I can tell you're wanting to tell me something. I just discovered the truth of the sovereignty of God. He teared up and said, that will make all the difference in the rest of your ministry. Just keep it balanced. Isn't that wise counsel?
You mentioned that you kind of had fear maybe or a trepidation about walking into the pulpit and having to preach on the sovereignty of God. Did you ever get fearful that maybe did you get it right?
Oh.
Or did you get the scope of it? Were you able to be clear enough?
Well, you always know you didn't exhaust it. There's always more you can give. There are always a page or two of my notes I never get delivered. I just don't have the time to say all that this window of time allows me to say.